live from International Quilt Market. I'm in Demo Alley. I'm going to be doing a demo. We're working today on a lion cub. This is the lion cub. It's called the Prince of Charm. This is something I teach at workshops. This is going to be in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida in January, I believe. I'm going to be teaching it in Australia. I'm going to be teaching it in Austin, Texas. I have 2 workshops in Austin, Texas, so we're going to be working on this lion cub. But today I'm going to be talking about how I make fabric collages. And I'm using my own fabrics from FreeSpirit. I'm a new fabric designer, so we're going to be working with my fabrics. This is pretty exciting for me. So what I do is I work with a photograph. This photograph I'm working with is of this lion cub. So here's the lion cub. I've illustrated this lion. This has been drawn on my white denim cloth. This is white denim. I added a stabilizer to it. This is a tearaway stabilizer. This is dyed cheesecloth, the background. It's all dyed cheesecloth. Hello. And so now what I'm doing is I'm using the line art as my template, and I will build the fabric collage. So I'm going to get working here while they film, and I'm going to talk to people as they stop by. And I'm only going to be doing short snippets of a Facebook Live. As we go along, we'll be adding more videos, so stay tuned. This isn't, normally when I do my Tuesday live chats, Tuesday with Turner, it's like 20 minutes, 40 minutes. Well, here at the quilt market, the internet's not the best. We're just going to give you some snippets. Dean's going to film like every 20 minutes. He'll come back and do it. But you can always find these videos in my videos section. There's a section in my Facebook page that says videos. You can always find my videos there. So let's get working. I'm going to start building this collage. I'm doing my demo here. People stop, people go. I repeat myself a lot. So just, I just wanted you to see what it's like to be in Demo Alley. It's the last day of the show.
Hi, Michelle.
It's the last day of the show. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. My husband's filming and saying Michelle says hi. Okay, so it's the last day of the show. It's very quiet here in Demo Alley. Not many people. It was much crowded the other day. Who cares? I'm here for you, right? So I'm going to go ahead and start demonstrating. So I've already got the ears pretty well built out, and if you can look at my other lion cub, you can see it's layered. So I've got that basic ear shape that I used from my line art, and now I'm going to go ahead and put the lights and the darks in. How do I do that? I use my photograph. Where's my photograph? Here he is. I use my photograph, and that will be my areas. So they'll have my light areas and my dark areas, and I will be cutting out the fabrics that match those areas. See? That's what I'm doing. So now I'm building my lion cub. And the exciting part for me, again, is because I'm using my own line of fabrics from FreeSpirit called CalicoHorses. So right now, as you can see, I'm just starting to fussy cut these areas. I decided I'm gonna use this. This is called Desert Grass. This comes from my line. I wanted something, this is a tone on tone. I just want to get these light areas of the ears done. So I take this little cutout. I've already cut with my paper. I've cut out these light areas, and I'm going to trace them using a Frixion pen. Frixion. And my demo is all about not using glue or fusing. So if you're familiar with my work, you know that I choose to use pins and not fusing or glue. So today, I'm building my lion cub. I'm using my photograph as a template, and I'm cutting out my ears. This is going to be just this little area. Now, and I just take it down a little bit further because this all blends together. So I fussy cut this area. Again, I'm looking for lights and darks to give the contrast, just like you see in my artwork. I use my photographs to show me light and dark. And now I'm adding this light section of the lion cub's ear on the outer part. So I just cut this out. In the cooking shows, they have it all cut out for you. But in demos, we want to show people how to do this. So it takes a little time, and this is how we do it. So I'm cutting out this little piece of light cloth, light fabric, looking for that highlight, right? So how is that going to, is it going to look like patchwork as I stick it on there? No, because my thread painting with my Aurifil threads, and as you know, or you may not know, I have a new thread collection with Aurifil thread called CalicoHorses, and I used 270 colors, because that's how many colors I have. But for this little lion, I will be using this little stripe that I just made out of this fabric. This is the light part, and this will go over the lion's ears right here at the top. What does this do? This makes it give that highlight that we see in the photo. So you're always looking at the photo when you're working. I never ever work with my work, any of my line art, any of my drawings without having a good, clear photograph reference. Now, my photo references come from wildlife photographers. All of my art goes to endangered animals. Everything I do goes back to endangered animals. I'm lucky enough to have wildlife photographers and nonprofits donate all these things. So I'm really, really fortunate. So now I'm going to keep building. This is the final piece, just for you who haven't seen it. This is the little lion cub that I'm building. I teach this in workshops all around the world. I go to Australia, Spain, Ireland. I'm all over the place. So that's the finished piece, and that's what I'm building. And you feel free to come over and look at it. You're happy to touch it. It's fine. And now this is the non-gluing, non-fusing part. I just pin it. This is just straight pins. I'm using straight pins and I'm popping it in, so I'm layering. So that's the other thing. The reason I'm using these fabrics this way is that when you do this work, you just pin it on. There's no mistakes in my work. There's life lessons. So what does that mean? That means if I did think that I didn't like it, I would cut out another piece and just pop it right on. That's how I work. I don't rip out anything. I don't even use my stitch ripper pen. I'm building this. I'm building it like it looks like a puzzle.
Well, Christy Lee wants you to know she just bought your new thread collection.
She did.
Gorgeous.
Thank you very much, Christy. Yeah, the thread collection. Where is it, Dean? And here's my lookbook. So please take my lookbook. Here's my new thread collection that matches my horses. Thank goodness. Look at this. Running horses. We got horses, calico horses. That is my thread collection, and I chose brights because they will always match my collection. I get 12 weight in here because you know how I am about eyes. Those eyes have to pop. If you know anything about my work, I'm known for the eyes. So how do those eyes pop? Switch to 12 weight. Everything's 50 weight, switch to 12 weight for the eyes. Makes it, do you see the difference? How it really makes it sing? When you change the weight, this is all 50 weight, and this is, I pop in 12 weights. That gives it that luster. And that's why I included it in my thread collection. That's my thread collection. So let's do the other part of the eye. I'm sorry, the ear. Calling it an eye. So again, I'm using my Fricción pen. I'm tracing it. And you know how to do this. You try to save as much fabric as you can. You don't want any waste, so you kind of like look to see where you're tracing. I'm looking to make sure that this bottom part doesn't go off. And it's right here. As you can see, I'm not real meticulous with my tracing. The fabric is going to blend it with the thread painting. All is going to come together when I do my thread painting. Now, for those of you listening and following me right now, I'm in an environment where the lighting may not be great. We're doing the camera work the best we can. My hands are probably in the way. As you can see, I'm doing my best to get them out of the way. But if you were to look at this, if you were to look at this and say, oh my gosh, how the heck am I supposed to do any of this with the way this is being filmed? Just understand, this is just a rough demo. We're here on Demo Alley. I'm going to be doing webinars, live webinars from fabric shops from around the world, and I have special equipment that has zoomed in on my hands with great lighting so you can see how I do all of mine. So if your shop is interested in having me host a webinar, contact me. I have a webinar November 6th, 7th, and 8th right now in Gardnerville, Nevada. And I'm going to the Fabric Chicks Creative Oasis. I'm really excited about it. Great, great place. I've been there. I teach retreat. I'm going to be doing another retreat in Lake Tahoe. But if you want me to teach you how to do this for your shops, your fabric shops, if you want that, then get in touch with me. And you're going to be able to put a class together, and I will come live on the big screen. So keep looking for that. So I will continue doing this demo. Maybe if I hold it up, you can see it better, Dean? Can they see it, you think?
Great.
Okay.
Just don't get any cut fingers and blood.
Okay. I love this fabric, this tone on tone. The wild horses that I'm so close to, you know I work with them through meditation. These wild horses live in an area that is so rough, and the terrain is so rough at times, that they have to forage, and they have actually over the years, these wild horses have evolved to be able to eat unbelievable foraging and rough. I mean, they're eating rocks and stones at times to get the minerals, but this is wild horses. They don't have fancy barns. There's no fancy oats for these horses.
Well, Lorraine, Wendy wants to know, is that colored cheesecloth on the bottom layer?
That is definitely duck-colored cheesecloth on the bottom layer. Here's another one, Wendy. This is all dyed cheesecloth. You can use organic dyes. You can use, I don't know what the thing's, a Ritz dye, I can't even pronounce it, and Kool-Aid. I use Kool-Aid for my dyes. I also use something called bleeding color tissue paper. You rip it up, you stick it on there, you shoot it with water, and it makes these beautiful dyes. So yes, I use specialty fibers in all my work.
And Kathy Clark wants to know, what brand of scissors are you using?
I'm using a Kia scissor today, KIA. They're my favorite. I have them for paper, and when I do my workshops, I ask them to bring me small scissors, and I get these big tools. This is what I'm talking about, people. Small. You need to be able to get in and get around these tight corners. So that's what I use. I use Kias. And this little charm thing was given to me. I got this from a student in Italy. I taught 2 or 4 workshops in Italy, and the students are always giving me things. Mostly they give me food. But this is a very nice student from Perugia, Italy. Thank you, Perugia. So I'm going to continue building. You want to zoom in here, Dean? I want to show them.
Come around.
So as you see, I just cut it and I layered on top, and I'm trying to match my photograph. To see the light areas? I've snipped it in. This becomes my light area of the ears. And this will all come together more as I stitch with Aurifil threads. Now for this particular one, I'm going to be using a light colored thread to blend this in. All this will have a light colored thread to blend this in. Once I put this down, I'm going to go ahead and get the darks in. Let's get these shadows in. How do I do that? Again, I use my template. So let me go ahead and get the darks in. Oh, I think we're going to do... That's too much of a blend. That's not going to work for me. Does this work for me? These areas would work for me. This navy is what I'm going for. So I'm going to shoot for that part. Look at these beautiful succulents with a little, what is that called? Roadrunner. Sorry, just blanked out here. So I'm going to try and get this area in for the dark parts of my ear. So I'm going to lay this down. And remember, if it doesn't look dark enough, I'm going to darken it with my thread painting. So I'm going to go ahead and trace this. And yes, that's all I do. I go in, I find a dark area, and I fussy cut. I'm going to lay this down for this ear. Leave me a comment so I know everybody's following along here. That would really help. Okay. Now, of course, when I'm home, I have 3 daylight lights working with me so I can see what the heck I'm doing. But for this, I'm just going to have to use the lights from this area. Now, I'm not seeing that, so I got to go back. See, where is that? What did I do here? Yeah, right there. Okay, there. I'm going to trace it a little heavier so I can see it. Again, it does not have to be perfect because this is the shadow. This is the shadow in the ear. So I'm going to have to go too crazy about this.
Well, you got a whole bunch of people saying they're watching, love your work.
Oh, good.
Kathy, Nancy, Emily, Michelle.
Are you having fun where you are?
What program do you use for the photograph? Anything special to enhance it?
No. I don't use anything special to enhance any photos. I know that there's some people that do that, but I work in the business. I am a professional photograph restorationist. I'm considered a Photoshop expert. I've won awards for this work. So I guess I really need to say that when you work this way, I teach children, as you know, ages 8 and up. I'm all about life lessons and learning. So if you're going to do this, you just need to experiment. I'm sure there's apps out there. Don't go spending a lot of money on apps. Go to a good photocopier and get these photocopies. Do not waste money on that. So I'm going to tell you right now, I do it for a living. Don't you do it. Don't spend the money that I have to spend to do this professionally.
Well, Lidl wants to know, wish I caught at the beginning. This is going to be posted for viewing later, won't it, Lorraine?
Absolutely.
Where can they see it if they missed the beginning?
If you look at my video on my Facebook Live page, it says videos. They're always stored there. Just find them there. Hello. I'm demonstrating fabric collage today. So now I lay it down here and I just pop this in. And that's how I know where those dark areas of my shadows are going to go. Now, this is not dark enough for me. So what does that mean I have to do? It means I have to get out my threads. And I will thread paint with some darks because I'm looking for this shadow. Let's look at the photograph again. Oh, here he is. So look at that deep shadow. I have to get that dark shadow, this ear. So I will do it with threads. So I need to lay down that shape, and then work with the threads. Now, as you know, when you look at my work, I use a lot of pieces of fabric. It's not just one big chunk of fabric. Lots of little pieces go in this. So for this particular piece, I cut out this one section for the ear. I did the highlights here, and I'm putting this dark center. This is dyed cheesecloth. I want that fur. This is fun, isn't it, everybody? Don't you wish you were here? All right, so.
Kathy Clark's going to take your class in Austin, Texas next April.
Oh,
she can't wait.
Kathy, you're going to be doing this little cub. And I can't wait to see you. I love doing this. As you know, I'm just crazy about this stuff, and I love sharing it with you. I know it looks really hard, and I know I make it look easy. But what I'm trying to do, I'm sorry, my husband's telling me to do something.
It's 23 minutes.
He's timing me, everybody. I'm on the clock. I'm going to start saying again what I was going to say. I want you to start exploring this and having fun. Just have fun. Don't get too crazy about everything. If you don't start and you just keep laying in bed thinking about this, you will never do it. You need to be a doer and not a talker or a dreamer. Get the fabric out. Get this out. Kathy Clark, before you come to my workshop, start playing. Start practicing. Take pictures of your dogs, your cats, whatever. Now, I'm going to go ahead and stop filming right now, and Dean's going to come back, and we're going to do this again. But we're going to do a little bit of snippets.
In the meantime, Michelle Songo wants to know, did you sketch the image onto white fabric before you started applying calico pieces?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. All of you that do my work know that I bring in my workshops pre-drawn sketches of the projects, and the reason that is because I've been teaching workshops now, and it takes them half a day, maybe longer, just to trace the object. I would like to get down into there and get started and play. So that's part of my kit. You get a pre-drawn base, whether it's the kingfisher that I'm going to be teaching in Australia, or the fox, anything I do, or the little lion cub. You are always going to get a kit that has my art drawn on it. Once you go home and do it yourself, you do a light box, you did your own drawings. You're learning my techniques. That's what this is all about.
Also, Lorraine, Nancy Van Hook would love to have you at her quilt shop in Montana. How would she find out about your teaching?
in my, good question. So at the top of the Facebook page, it says message me, or it says sign up for my newsletter, right? But you can also go to my website. It's info@CalicoHorses.com. Just shoot me an email. I love Montana. As you know, I'm a horse person, horse country. Dean and I was just in Montana. We were in Missoula. We had a ball, and I would love to come to Montana. So shoot me an email, and I will make it happen. We will make it happen together. Okay? All right, everybody. Any more questions?
Nope.
Okay, see you soon. We're just going to take a little break, and we'll be back. But you can find all my videos on my Facebook page. Thank you. So...